Scale of 1 to 10, your thoughts of the format.
10 being the best?
Yes.
A 0. Sucks.
If you weren't aware, the NBA held a concert and an NBA All-Star game broke out. The 2025 NBA All-Star game had actually 30 minutes playtime and 2.5 hours of concerts, commercials, and breaks.
How many years?
And I do want to preface that the actual basketball played last night was genuinely pretty good. It's the most competition we've seen in All-Star game formats in probably 5 years, since 2020, and before that, 2016. The problem was there just was barely any basketball. And considering we just finished the NFL season off hearing about referees and how it's more entertainment than sport, etc. When you see the NBA doing things like this, it makes you realize, like, wait a second, how much do they really value the basketball aspect of their product, or how much do they think that the viewers value in their basketball as opposed to just the entertainment side?
Kyrie yesterday at practice, when we came in, he's like, yo, we playing this year? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right. And you saw him, guarding Donovan Mitchell, physical. I think it was a good step in the right direction to reinvigorate the game in some way.
Drink your water. Is it really that hard, that complicated to get guys averaging $40-50 million a year to just put forth effort in one game? Last night, as I was watching Shannon Sharp and Ocho talk about ways to motivate these guys to play harder, it dawned on me that this could just be a much bigger problem than we realize. This is like a societal problem. I mean, how on earth are you having issues motivating human beings who are earning that much money? Which then makes you realize that people making that much money are very hard to motivate at that level. And that's probably why you see so many people get the bag, get their contract, and the next year, they don't play nearly at the level they did to get that contract to begin with. It seems like it's at a point where either the fans or maybe just Adam Silver himself has to decide whether or not, if you guys don't participate or put forth energy or be entertaining, we're just going to withhold some paychecks from you or something. I don't know.
Right to jail.
But someone has to put their foot down and be like, guys, you need to show effort. You need to motivate and inspire the future generations. Hit that subscription button. Steph Curry said it last night in his post-game interview, how he was so inspired by seeing Kobe and Jordan go at it in the All-Star game, Garnett, you know, these players who really cared. People dream of being the best of the best. And so when you're surrounded by the best, you want to use that opportunity to stand out and show that you're the best. And I talked about this on my Super Bowl video, just rap concerts, rap live. Again, I love rap. It's probably my number 1 or number 2 most listened to genre. But the reality is live rap just isn't that great no matter who you go and see. I've seen Kendrick live. I've seen Wiz Khalifa live. I've seen Drake, Weezy. I've seen Jay-Z live. I've seen Eminem live. I've seen Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, amazing live. So when they're putting these concerts in the middle of the basketball games, taking these breaks, it's taking so much momentum, so much energy away from the game itself. It seemed like just as every single game started to get good, it ended. The score to 40 just isn't it. It needs to be higher because the players, they don't get into a rhythm. And speaking of rhythm, I mean, at one point you saw Kevin Durant hanging from the rim because he was trying to stay loose. And these are NBA players, right? They're professional athletes. They should be able to stay loose. It's like an extended halftime. But this was so much stop and go that this did not feel like an all-star game whatsoever. In regards to the rising stars having time on the court, I know that's caused a lot of conversation. And the reality is Draymond Green is correct, right? Why don't they just grab 7 more all-star worthy players out of the league who've been playing at that level and add them into the game? It makes absolutely no sense that the NBA themselves are handpicking who they want to be the future of the league and then giving them a chance to get exposure. That's favoritism, unless I'm completely incorrect. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on how they got picked, but it seems like you just give it to the players who almost got in. And the funniest part is that it seems like it put the OG team at a disadvantage because the first game, those guys, they did put in good effort, but it wasn't nearly the intensity we saw coming out of the Rising Stars team because, of course, these young guys are going to go hard as they can at the OGs and try and win, which then you could see made the OGs put in a lot more effort in that first game than the first 2 teams had. So if you're thinking about logistics, they should have had the OGs and the young squad play first. That way, those other teams, Kenny and Candace's teams, they would have seen the intensity that they brought, then mimic that in the second game. And again, we can go back to the pacing, to all the breaks. I think towards the end, you could see the players were getting extremely irritated. They were getting extremely impatient. They just wanted to ball. So I think they just got to get all that entertainment stuff, everything that just stopped the game consistently, the concerts, the awards, to Kenny, to Chuck, Shaq, Ernie. Those guys deserve it, absolutely, but just do it at the beginning or at the end. It's that simple. I mean, these players, they look so pissed off, and you could just genuinely see the energy dissipate towards the end because they just want to go home. Mr. Beast's halftime show was just weird. I feel like those are the things that just the audience in the crowd is supposed to see. We're not really supposed to see that from the television perspective. It was kind kind of painful because it seemed like Mr. Beast did not want that guy to make that shot, while you could clearly see Dame was trying to miss shots to give that kid a chance to make it, which I thought was awesome. I'm not even really sure if I trust that even being real, considering how epic it was that he made it at the absolute last second. But it was really cool to see that kid saying that he thanked his dad, his father. That was really special. Just the way he said it was so surreal. You could tell that kid was in bliss in that moment. And what I realized once we got to that last game as I was watching them play is that we were basically just watching the All-Star game again. The best players in the league were playing each other. So it kind of seemed like everything that came before that part of the night was just kind of useless because we got what we already were gonna get if we didn't change everything. And of course, you can't call the All-Star MVP award the Kobe Bryant award when it is a game based around this weird nonsense mumbo jumbo new format. Plus, no one's really giving forth full effort like Kobe did. I feel like it's disrespecting his name, but we're not gonna get into that. Almost every one of my channel's viewers is not subscribed to the channel. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscription button. We're trying to get monetized. My dog and I thought one of the best moments throughout the entire night was when Kyrie took on Wemby one-on-one and literally almost broke his left or right ankle. I can't remember which one, but genuinely thought I just saw Wemby shatter his ankle, but then Kyrie missed the layup. That would have been, he sold. Kyrie, you sold, my dude. But that was an incredible move. And of course, the most anticlimactic moment was the way the game ended. I feel like the game was supposed to end on that Steph Curry 3, and then they got a 8-second violation. That was so anticlimactic. They were in San Francisco. He was already the MVP winner of the game. You should just let him nail that, let the crowd go wild. It felt like there were so many opportunities this weekend, from the dunk contest to this, where they just kept letting energy dissipate into like the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like there was too much going on in between the things people were actually tuned in for. So next year, just give us what we want, a competitive game. And I've never thought this until tonight, but I actually might be getting a little fatigued of Kevin Hart. This dude is genuinely everywhere, and for good reason. He's funny, right? He's a funny guy. He's likable. He's mostly a family guy. But oh my gosh, there was just too much Kevin Hart last night. And for him to talk about corn at 7 p.m. Eastern time in California when so many kids are watching. Again, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to clutch my pearls, but that was like, all right, bro, like, come on, man. Remember who your audience is. And again, that's a big thing that I don't think the NBA recognizes, who their audience is. I mean, the NBA just doesn't understand what we want. Let's see us drink your water. And it looks like they are thinking about adding a 1v1 tournament, which would be pretty cool. We talked about this in my video right here. This actually talked about the entire slam dunk contest as well. Make sure to check it out. And let me know in the comments what you thought about the game. Let me know who you thought put forth a really good amount of effort. Let me know who you thought was being lazy and could have played harder. And let me know what you want to see next year, what you think they can do better, and if a one-on-one tournament will be the solution. All right. That's enough yapping for today.
I don't know how it looked on TV because we're down here on the floor competing, but we were, playing legitimate or somewhat legitimate defense. I don't like comparing it to like what it used to be because, the 2000 era of All-Star games was like the pinnacle of All-Star games, but we can make it something new and fresh and fun. I just want it to be fun for everybody, and I think we have fun, which is first and foremost.
What do you think of the new format, Trey? Did you like that?
No, I didn't like it at all, to be honest with you. I don't know what the fans' reaction is yet and things like that, but I think there's like too many breaks, you know what I'm saying? It's too long of a breaks, and guys are over there ready to play and stuff like that. I thought it was very competitive at the beginning, but then as the games kept going on, I think it was just too long of breaks, for sure.
You didn't enjoy that 17-minute break?
Yeah, that's how long it was too long of a break. I didn't know how long it was, but it felt like it was 30 minutes, so.
Breaks, I guess, weren't ideal. I would rather play without breaks, but I had fun nonetheless. I feel like it was a little bit more towards the competitive side tonight, which is a good feeling, step in the right direction. Now I guess it's up to the guys that handle all that stuff to figure out what's next and how to keep making it more and more interesting, and hopefully we get there one day. But I'm glad it's not my job to figure that stuff out. And I'm excited for the second half of the season.
And if you enjoyed this video, think about watching either of these videos that's on the screen. As always, hit that subscription button and turn on notifications. Go out there and do something great.